Hey folks, it's Kat.Beanie and welcome back to another stream. Now, Erudite, I swear to God, I am not a grandmother. uh, Not yet. Anyway, maybe not ever, if we're lucky. So yeah, we're just chilling in the hardcore world today. As you can see, we're on day 82. For those of you that missed this morning's stream. Hey, Manchu. Yes, look, definitely not a grandma. Thankfully, although there are some people out there that are a grandmother in their 30s, and you know what? We're not gonna judge. We're not gonna judge. There's a extenuating circumstances there, I am sure. Hello, Catolopolopolicita. I think I just got out dyslexic. Hey, here no, how's it going? So, how is everybody's day? As you can see, we currently have some, okay stuff. We're not doing too bad. We've got the walls going up around, where the villagers are at. The rest of the village can fend for itself because it's mainly farmland and cattle and stuff. But we need to protect these guys. These are the important doodads. We need to protect them. What have you got here, buddy? Good to hear. Here, no. I hope you're less tired. Ooh, moss. You know what? I kind of feel like I want to go on an adventure. I want to do something. I've not really explored this world. I also want to make like an actual base instead of, living in a villager house. But I also want to finish I want to do all the things. I want to do all the things, and I can't do all the things. And I've got my poppy scarf on today because it is obviously November the 11th, which is Remembrance Day, where we remember all the members of the armed forces and the animals that have served all of our countries, really. Because, those people have a hard job. Right. Day 82. What should we do, folks? Should we go on an adventure? Should we go to the nether? Should we fix the wall? Come on, I'm leaving it in your skeptically capable hands here. Like, give me a to-do list. Although I'm currently making more bamboo. Right. I just tried a Mississippi mud pie inspired yogurt and it does not taste nice. What? Is that not meant to be like chocolate? One would hope that it was chocolate. I learned today that someone I knew that was younger than me died last week fighting in Ukraine. Honestly, just scary. Aww. I'm so sorry, buddy. That sounds awful. One of my brothers wanted to be in the armed forces, but for extenuating reasons I'm not going to go into it because obviously it's his life. He couldn't. And yeah, he was really bummed out about it. Like, as you would be, setting your sights on, doing something, and especially something that significant. Sorry, I need to bump my chair up a little bit. There we go. Sorry about That's better, much better. Okay. Yeah, so it's like, especially like trying to do something like that significant. Right, we're gonna. The scarf is still here. Yeah, he was really bummed because he'd really set his sights on this is what I want to do with my life. And then obviously having been
No,
told
you gotta
like,
get dad finished
sorry
first.
buddy, you can't do this, this isn't for you.
You don't get dad finished
Um,
up, but
like when you've wanted something for so long, it's
yeah,
just kind of a bit of a
you
crapshoot.
don't do that.
I didn't know that was today. Yes, that's today. My granddad, one of my granddads, did national. I assume both of them did national service,
What
considering
does
they
it
were
mean?
both old enough to do it. And my grandmother was actually, I can't remember if it was
Oh, it's good
the
fellas.
Navy or something. I can't remember, but she
Am I here
was
for your
part
amusement?
of, you know, that sort of sector back when she was younger. Uh, and my granddad that just passed in January, he actually in the UK, we used to have like this poppy factory that would make
Joe Pesci was such a
all the
bad
poppy stuff
man from
and like
such a
all the
good
little
bad guy.
badges and stuff for obviously Remembrance Day, and he used to work in that factory. So yeah, we're oh no, nope,
You're
it's nighttime.
going at it for about a minute and then he just starts laughing.
So yeah, we did a lot of stuff. Make a
Such
bamboo sheep foot. No, I'm not doing that. I've done that once before. That has been done. You know, I do not have the urge. I don't
Yeah,
know,
you
but I
reckon
don't
it
like
masking
it.
it or no?
On a lighter note, I accidentally sang "God Save the Queen."
It's
It's
the
been
scene
2 years
in
now.
that with Spider.
To be fair, you know,
The guy
it's
that
it's
gets
it's
on
a
the
better
bench in
song.
the card games and he fucks up his drink once, so he shoots
Let's
him in
just
the
all
foot.
collectively agree that
And then later on in the film,
we
he's
don't
got
need
an
a new
active
one.
brace, obviously, because he's been shot in the foot. And
Plus,
Joe
does
Pesci
anybody
says
even
something
really
to Ben,
like
like,
Charles?
how's the limp or something like that.
You know,
The boy's like, guess what, go fuck yourself, Tommy. And he's like, oh, alright. And then he puts about fucking 18 bullets into his
it's
chest.
basically like any sort of
Like,
politician or ruling thing. Like one thing that I really don't like is the whole
yeah.
propaganda around the whole William, Kate, Harry, Meghan situation. And I really get vibes of the only reason that Queen Elizabeth became queen was because her uncle abdicated because he married he married a commoner who had been divorced, and that was a big no. Like back now, if like one of the royal family said they wanted to marry a divorced commoner, yes, it would be a bit of a scandal, but obviously society these days is a lot more accepting of that sort of stuff. Whereas back then it was oh hell no, you can't do this. If you want to marry her, you're gonna have to eat the crown to your brother, which they did, and which was obviously Queen Elizabeth's dad. So that's the only reason she became queen, was because her uncle wasn't. And then you then have to wonder, like, you know, what would have happened if he had married her, if they'd been allowed to remain. You know, what would the country look like these days if everybody was just a little bit more accepting, you know? But apparently, you know, these things take time, which is a bit crap. But, you know, hindsight is... Oh, we're almost finished. Hindsight is a bit of a sore spot, isn't it?
Martin Sheen.
Prince William would be okay king. It would make our country slightly less of a laughingstock. Yeah, and I don't even think so much about Prince William, because I don't know, maybe it's because I've got a big brother called William. He just seems like a bit of a douche. I'm not saying that my big brother, I mean, he used to be a douche when he was a kid, but he's not so much of a douche now. Sorry, Will. But yeah, I don't know if it's just because I had a crazy older brother called William, but I think if it wasn't for his wife, nobody would like him, because he's very... He gives off being very aloof, very antisocial, and she seems like the more approachable, sociable one. And I'm not even that big a fan. Like, I'm not a royalist at all. My grandmother was a big royalist. Why is that little bundle just hanging out there all by its wee lonesome? November to February 24-25 is Kosovo election season in November, so my feeds are filled with politics because America exists too. Oh, yay! Kate is just Diana light. Yay, yeah. Like I saw this, you know, guys, let's go on an adventure. I'm going to go this way and let's see where we end up. I've got a spare bed. I do have a spare bed. Look at me go. Yeah, I see a lot of content sort of perpetuating her as the new Diana, and like people forget that Diana was, you know, like a teacher. She was like a common person, and a lot like what they're doing to sort of, or what they tried to do to Meghan Markle by, you know, taking all of their individuality and basically going, well, you suck. We need you to be like this. Because both of them are like, heh, no. Yeah, they're just getting blasted in the media. Until obviously, you know, Princess Diana died, and there was just like, oh my god, she was so young and beautiful. But she was. I bet she could take Camilla in a fight. Are we placing bets? And then there was this whole controversy of Camilla going after Princess Charlotte, right? And I don't buy it at all. As much as I'm not a fan of the royals in general, or, you know, Camilla specifically, because, you know, yada yada yada, like, woman sleeps with other women's husband is kind of a douche move. I don't like cheaters. I don't care where you're from or what your excuse is. But yeah, there's this whole thing about her going after you know, Princess Charlotte, and I think I'm not sold on it, to be honest. Like, as someone that, you know, was raised with a step grandmother, and, you know, Camilla has been married to Charles since before, you know, bouncing baby Charlotte came along. So that is one of the only grandmothers that, you know, that kid has known. And obviously she does have her own offspring, and I imagine she has her own puppy dogs, her own biological grandchildren. But, you know, when you're an intermingled family, like which I was talking about this morning, a little less royally though, you know, blood doesn't really matter, and I can't see, I don't, maybe I'm just perpetuating my own sort of family values onto that situation. I'm royalist because royalism boosts my political power in Hungary. Whatever you gotta do, man. Whatever you gotta do. Boost that political power. Woo! Yeah, Prince Harry just needed to grow up here and move away instead of craving your daddy's approval. Yeah, I don't see... I don't see why there is such hatred towards... If he wasn't such a close... If he wasn't so close to the throne, and his wife wasn't, you know, a mixed race divorced person, you know, if he'd chosen to settle down with it, like, I hate to say it, but it stinks of racism and just, yeah, and just awful, awful things.
December.
Right, let's go this way. I don't think I've been this way
Is that
before.
what the box is called? To do them all, or is that
Yeah, there's
just
an
that?
ocean monument over there. And hell no, I am not doing that right now. I don't have any water breathing. That's a big no-no. Although I tend to do pretty well on ocean monuments. You know, not get completely yeeted into the depths of despair.
It's probably the film
Is that dark? That's not dark oak, is it? That's spruce. Is that dark oak? I need more dark oak saplings.
And then I go.
Big Brother just starting by. Oh, thanks, Erudit. Nice to know I'm so easily overthrown for Big Brother Kosovo edition.
Extended trilogy and for 15 quid.
Nah, anyway, it's good to go watch your show, man. I'll be salty about it later. It's fine. I don't envy being forced to live in a fishbowl with an entire nation tracking your every bowel movement. Yes, could you imagine?
On the first time I went into extended.
Like, those people have had cameras on them since the day they were born. And I don't care what you say. Making a mother who has just burst several pounds of human get dressed in a stupid ass nightie, standing on a step in the freezing cold, holding that wane to get pictures taken for the public. Nah, no, not pal. Although, I mean, I suppose it could be worse. Like, I'm currently watching Versailles again, which is you know, French nobility. If anybody's, you know, into history or stuff, you'll know what it is. So I'm watching, obviously, the historical dramatic thingy of that. And it still makes me cringe where they're actually, you know, there's a whole host of people watching the Queen give birth. And she's, like, you know, huffing and puffing and panting. And everybody's sort of sitting back with their popcorn and going, hey, this is great. No. It's, oh, it gives me the eek. I retract my last statement. Charlie might take it as instruction. Oh no, not the flower. Oh snap. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm gonna let this happen. Get him, buddy. Yay, friend. Special Gollum friend. Ooh, apples. Okay. What have we got up in these parts? I'm gonna steal this wheat on behalf of me's everywhere. Do I have a hole? I do have a hole. Look at me go.
You get, like, the book set, you get.
Yeah, it just goes.
Separate book and you get the thing.
You've seen that meme, silly, right? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, there's more wheat up there. Nice.
It's £100 on Amazon, but
Oh.
I'm sure
There's some things you don't ever want to picture in your brain. I kind of feel envious of those people that literally can't picture things in their brain right now. Oh, when you have a very, very vivid, slightly, you know, disgusting, perverted imagination, it's not sometimes it's a blessing. I'm not gonna lie, it's not always a blessing. Apples. Fork handles. Handles for forks. Sorry. I don't know if anyone's old enough to get that reference. I don't know why I said it. It just randomly came out of my brain. Where did I leave my boat? Right, I think that's all she wrote on this village. God, the amount of echolalia I do without even sometimes realizing I'm doing it. It's definitely concerning.
I mean, it looks like
Yeah, there's a thing to be said about having anonymity in your life.
Amazing.
Like, especially if you're something like a serial killer. Don't get your prints in the system. Ooh, lava. Lava, 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 lava. You won't be laughing when you have a flower hole. Oh my god. You know, they make special I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. Nope. No. I'm not touching that. That's what Charles said. Sorry. I can't help it. Oh, I'm going to hell. I'm going so far to hell. Oh, village? I know there's a village over there.
It's an actual replica of the ring in the film.
Right. I think you should coin the term flower puss. No.
Same weight. Same chain.
Where's my white cat when you need her? I shall rename you Flower. That way it's kind of wholesome. Like bread. There we go. We can turn this around. Whee!
This is true.
Is right. Hold on a sec, folks. Where's me Twitch? That's the wrong Twitch. I just need to check if something's working. Did that work? I don't know. Like I keep trying to fix the little things you can claim. You know, the little magic bean counter things, but I don't seem to be. I don't know if I'm wangling it very well. Are people gaining points and stuff? Am I screwing this up? Whoa! Yeah, okay, that worked. Also, there we go. I did a thing. How many of those did you redeem?
Fucking, I've heard only great things about it so far.
Where'd that guy go? I want to see what trades he had. Sir! That's not too bad for a... I've seen worse.
Pedro Pascal again.
I have seen worse. Yeah, so it did come up on my thing. That's good. I was worried that they weren't working. Ah yes, wholesome naming your cat after your... Silly, please stop.
Yeah, just good anyway.
I know I started it, but I regret my life choices right now. I regret them hard.
All I know is that he shouldn't be doing fucking sequels ever again. Like,
no. No.
They gave him the go ahead to do another Alien film.
I'm going to hell. Who's coming with me? I'll save you guys a seat. Right, I don't need that.
To keep him happy because he was going to
I'm going to steal an extra bed as well. Right. I got beds coming out the wazoo.
Ready for some stupid lines like two robots talking to each other for playing the flute and that.
Right.
You to the blown and
Oh, you shout it loud and proud at my funeral. If someone isn't, you know, making a scene at my funeral, you're not doing it properly. Plus, I'm an organ donor, so who knows how much of me there's going to be left.
What? How did he
I'm an organ donor, and then I wanted to be
fucking
put in a
realize?
tree, if that makes sense. You know, one of those, because that's one of the things, like, a lot of the oil that we, as, you know, humans have,
Yeah,
is
so
down to, obviously, dinosaurs and other animals dying, decomposing, turning into oil, yada yada yada. And we, as a species, for some reason, think that making ourselves crispy is a better alternative. I mean, I get that, you know, it makes people uncomfortable having dead folk buried all about the place, but that's life. That's life. That's what people say. So, you know, if you want your future generations to have fossil fuels, crude oils and such, you know, get deeding in a hole. No toasties. I'll turn these into a toasty sandwich. Oh no. People sandwich.
I like the book.
That just gives me
That's how they fucking trap idiots like me in.
human centipede vibes, and that's just wrong.
See?
That
It
is
comes with a fucking
just
plastic
all
sleeve, mate.
sorts
What
of
do you want
wrong.
Not like fucking.
You're getting buried under a nursery with a glass window so you can look up at the kids and you're like,
That's when they kill the turtles. In the
You know
sea.
what?
Right.
Turn it into like a learning experience. You know. Excuse you? That was weird. Why was there a random... Ooh, compass. Why was there a random hay bale in that house? I'm so confused.
Yeah, what the food you buy?
Actually, I'm going to start taking the bread in case I run out of food on this merry journey. Yeah, turn it into, like, you know, a learning experience. This is what happens when, you know, someone dies, and I might be a bit sad about that, but then, you know, think of all the different, like, ecosystems that could, like, you know, thrive in a decomposing body. You got, like, maggots and, you know, other bugs and insects and stuff.
No, she kind of totally lying. You didn't know.
I'm pretty there's probably a place you could go to, like, in, it was probably all over, but back in the day there used to be this website called, I can't remember what it was called, but you could watch people on it.
See, they're making a documentary.
I'm pretty sure they had Saddam Hussein's. Hello? I'm gonna assume you're responsible for the hay bale. Cool. Glad we cleared that up.
The boy at Star Trek. He played the wee lecture boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had that. Like, I never watched it. It's one of those things that, like, I know it existed and I heard about it from friends, but sorry folks, I am not brave enough to watch that crap. Like, show me fake gore on Grey's Anatomy, or, you know, any medical show, or even any real life medical show. I will watch that stuff all day. But, you know, I kind of draw the line at watching people get schmishmembered and stuff.
It's gotta be quite sad. It's like, oh yeah, this is where.
And then, like, people would go, like, brag to their friends, oh, did you see that video? Did you see that video? Nobody wants to see that. Oh, see you later, Angela. Have a good day. Glad
I'd
you
be
could hang
surprised
out
if
for a
they
little
play
bit.
the fucking Benny Hill theme tune during
That's
it.
very... talking about some very disturbing things today. Right, I need some dark oak.
Yeah,
Is that dark? That's not. That's spruce, isn't it? Right.
it'd be
That
90
is
minutes of him
spruce-
fucking doing films
spruceness.
and then 2 minutes of him dying. Like,
Stuff me and... well, it would be nice to get stuffed one last time.
this the feel he's gonna be.
Try to think who I don't like.
Even his dad.
There's
his
no
dad
one.
came out and was
There's
like,
no
"Look,
one I
this is,
hate.
like, so painful for me still." Because apparently his son was always quite forgetful.
Like I've been
and
through
that's
some
what
stuff,
got him
some
killed.
things,
So he
in
was
life,
like, I was
as
always
everybody
reminded
has.
of today's stuff 'cause he was over
And
forgetful,
obviously there's a
really
few
making
people
a
in life
documentary
that
based
I
on how forgetful he is.
generally
They just seem a
dislike.
bit disrespectful.
But I feel that hating people is
Yeah,
just
it's gotta
a
be fucking
waste
Netflix as well,
of
obviously,
energy.
'cause Netflix
It's
and other
not, you know,
shit. Yeah,
people
that's
feel
a lot of
like,
films. I like just about
you know,
everything he was
holding
in.
on to
Thomas
resentment and
was a
anger and
fucking-
all
that
that
was a
stuff
great film.
is, you know, that they never want to, you know, forgive and forget what these people have done to them, and how these people have been so bad to them. Like, and I get it, like, I do understand. I have been that angry before where I have, you know, had the visceral feeling of wanting to go and, you know, nerf that person into the void vigorously and with great enthusiasm. But like, if you keep holding on to that sort of feeling, it's just gonna make your life worse.
I thought that would have been beast.
Like, just, you know, you don't have to forget. You don't even have to forgive, but, you know, moving on is definitely healthy. Like, I did a thing today that I didn't think I would ever do again in my life, and I reached out to my uncle, so my bio dad's brother. That wasn't the thing that because I inherited it. I'm dyslexic in this, guys. The words don't work. Because the words don't work, they just make it worse. I'll see your face again. I inherited it. Right, it's either dyslexia or Scottishness. I'm not quite sure which.
Shush.
He's being super loud. Yes, I came into possession, there we go, of my late grandfather's paintings. Apparently my MP might resign soon. I could finally get an MP whose most famous quote isn't "What are you playing at?" Nice. So if anybody wants to find out where Sally lives, just don't.
He would do.
Yeah, so
let's get some Warhammer shit.
I came into possession of my late grandfather's artwork. Now, some of this artwork has been displayed in art, whatever you call them, exhibits, and some of his artwork is currently displayed in one of the major hospitals in Edinburgh. Not going to say much more on that because otherwise you guys will figure out who he is. People will be sneaky that way. So yeah, I came into possession of some of his artwork, and with
what the fuck are you talking about? I fucking love
some of it
what fucking do you?
was for sale prior to his death. I already have a piece on my wall over there, and I have kept another piece which reminds me of my two girls, and I, you know, asked all my brothers if they wanted any of it, and one of them has said yes, so I've put that aside for him. I've still got two pieces of art to come into my possession, but they're very large pieces, and so I had three pieces which I got yesterday, which were sort of surplus to requirements. Like I can't keep all this artwork. I don't want to keep all this artwork. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks, had to parent. Yeah, so I came into possession of this artwork, and there were three pieces left. So I contacted my uncle to see if, cause my uncle is one of the only people I will contact on that side of the family about sort of anything to do with anything. Because he is genuinely a good human being and a good person, and you know, I think all of my uncles on that side are generally good people. I think a lot of them have just been disillusioned by some of the, you know, stories that my bio dad has came up about me. So for reference, my late granddad didn't want any of his children at his funeral, so they were not told that he had passed until after his funeral, in order to prevent them from attending, so that it wouldn't upset my late grandmother. And I facilitated in doing that, so you know, that side don't like me. This reminds me of the time I was a live art model in college. The bar was clearly low, and I know the painting still exists somewhere. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna have to go look up on the internet. I was actually gonna do something like that for a photographer when I was younger, but I was
Hey, they're actually quite expensive, by the way.
It didn't occur. It didn't manifest. There was this whole thing planned with claymores and stuff.
I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway. So I messaged my brother to see whether my bio dad wanted any of this artwork, and a couple of watches that I had in my possession that were my late granddad's, and he took all of it. And like I did say that I had already messaged my uncle to see if, you know, any of that side wanted it, so he'll have to obviously chat with them to disperse the goods. So anyway, I dropped them off at my brother's house, and he's gonna drop them off at them. So it was kind of, I don't want. I've always stated that I will only have him in my life if he stops drinking, which he has not so far done. So, okay, Bubs. Unfortunately, that's a him problem. And despite obviously my late grandfather's wishes, which I am now the black sheep of that side of the family, for like, I don't care who you are. If somebody's one of their last wishes on this earth is for me to go into Tesco's and shoplift a pint of milk.
It's like
Mate, call the cops now. They can come and they can come and watch me do it. You know, if my grandmother had asked me to, she wouldn't ever, but you know, had asked me to walk down the middle of Princes Street, bare ass, buck naked, you can bet my shiny happy ass that is what I would do. Dude, could you maybe stop? Can I not crouch? Because obviously, if that's their last wish, or you know, one of their last wishes on this earth, bit weird, but okay. Let's make this happen. Unfortunately, like one of his wishes was, I don't want my offspring at my funeral, in order to, you know, safeguard my wife's feelings, which, albeit was a bit crappy for me to do, I completely understood why it was done. And this wasn't like a word of mouth thing, like he said this to me directly. And obviously I'm not gonna put my then grieving grandmother through the situation of explaining to that side of the family why they're not invited to his funeral. I know what my last wish is going to be. Lay it on us, silly. Lay it on us. What is it? Is it going to be something obscure? If someone doesn't come to my funeral dressed up as the Grim Reaper, you know, and start pronouncing like the elderly people that are attending are going to die soon, then what even is a funeral for? Really? You know what? If I die, you guys are all invited to my funeral, and you better have a freaking party. And it better be hilarious, because I will be disappointed if it's not. Yeah, sorry. I've just been very, like, with all this stuff going on, obviously going to my grandmother's house for the last time and dealing with you know, all this stuff with the estate and what have you. You know, it's just been on my mind a lot lately, as it would be on anybody's. Can I stack come to say nice? Probably doesn't make for the best content, so you know, my apologies. I'm sure we've all got skeptical family members we can relate, right? Tell me about your guys' crazy family stories. Like, I need a laugh. Although one cracker that one of my brothers did pull off was we were all sitting around a table for dinner one time, and just out of absolutely nowhere, and I'm talking about he's about 5 or 6 years old at this point, just comes out with the man with the rubber glove was surprisingly gentle. And everybody around that table just absolutely burst. It was so funny. Like, he'd been watching Ace Ventura or some Jim Carrey movie, and it was the best. I barely speak to my dad, and I don't know how many siblings I have at this point. I am scared to do one of those, you know, one of those genealogy tests, because some of the controversy on my side of the family is that my granddad didn't think that one or two of my uncles were his. I mean, the uncle in question is actually the one that looks the most like my granddad. So, you know, I don't know where that came from. And the thing that I find very hypocritical and ironic is that my bio dad always used to slate, like, I suppose one of the reasons he wasn't invited to the funeral was because he always stated that should, you know, his father pass away, he'd only go to the funeral to piss on his grave. I mean, joke's on you, mate, the guy was cremated, but still, the point remains. But yeah, he'd always say that his dad didn't believe that, you know, his brother was his son, and he was such a, you know, a douchebag for doing that, and just because he didn't look like him as a kid, and blah 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 and all this sort of stuff. And then he turns around and does the exact same thing to my little brother. Right, so you guys know what I look like, right? Yeah, you know, red hair. I was blonde when I was born, but you know, red hair. I look like this. My oldest brother is basically me with short hair and taller and skinnier. And my two half brothers, look exactly like my bio dad looked when he was a little kid. Right, so, you know, no qualms there. No. Do I want any of this? No. Is that any dark? Oh. But one of my brothers, just for reference, my mother is 5 foot and ginger. Okay, just you know, keep that in your brains. My brother is also, you know, short and ginger, which unfortunately he has been teased relentlessly about his entire life, even by myself, much to you know, kids suck, and we were all douchebags when we were younger. But yeah, like the gingerness for me didn't come until I was a bit older, and like, you know, now, like, I appreciate how like nice it is to have red hair. You know, you don't appreciate that when you're a kid. But anyway, so yeah, because obviously the rest of us are auburn, brunette, brown haired, and of average height. Apparently we're good, but you know, the one that is the spitting image of his mother, because, you know, genetics are funny that way. Sometimes one kid looks like one parent, sometimes one kid looks like another. Me and my oldest brother are sort of a mix of both. My two youngest brothers look more like my bio dad, and one of my brothers looks exactly like my mom. And that he had the absolute audacity to accuse my mother of my brother not being his. I don't think you're my daughter. That man can't even remember my birthday. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't know that I had a third child if people didn't tell him. Yeah. But yeah, he had the absolute audacity to accuse, you know, to like insinuate that, you know, my brother wasn't his, when he has always been so mad at his dad for, well, accused his dad of doing the exact same thing with his brother. Like, mate, you can't even make this crap up. And you know, we all, you know, the question of a DNA test has come up time and time again. And like we've always sort of said that, you know, if it came back that it wasn't his, you'd is that dark oak? I think that's dark oak.
He's like,
Cha-ching.
the guy's like, oh, good, so you took all their teeth for the zombie apocalypse.
You know,
He's like, zombie apocalypse.
At this point, as I've said before, like I'm not a fan of cheaters. The hypocrisy in this is that he was also a cheater. But I think I'd be rooting for my ma at this point, honestly. If it came back that my little brother wasn't his kid, I'd be like, get in there, ma. But also they were getting divorced when she was pregnant with my brother. And she made an offhand statement to a family friend one day that
it's the weirdest fucking thing in the world. So they're like, yeah, we're making a sequel with
you know, that my brother, not that he wasn't his, but that my brother was her baby. And it's all sort of stemmed from that, and people thinking that, oh, well, that's confirmation that that's not what that meant.
Yeah, so it's like, well, if that's what you wanted to say, then why
She
didn't
wasn't
you go
stating that
fucking end and
this is not his biological child. She's just stating that he's an absolute
he's obviously
waster,
been building
and
to make
you know,
that
these are
sequel
my
with
kids.
that actor.
Why'd I do that?
I remember that.
It's night. Unrelated, but wouldn't it be cool if all of Divergence got a DNA test to see how close we all are? Yes, we should do it. Let's do it. Although I will, unfortunately, be
Justice League.
very, very Scottish.
Batman, don't kill me.
My genealogy is gonna come back and go, you're a 99.95% Iron Brew. Like, well, that sucks because I don't even like Iron Brew, but anyway.
What do you mean, Martha? That's my mum. Yeah, it's my mum too. That's what it was like.
Yeah, my... Like, unless I've got some, like, interesting ancestry
How awkward is it with
from,
Batman
like, way back when. Did I even get any?
Yeah, he walks out to him, he's like, do you bleed?
I'm not getting any. Saplings. Yeah, unless I've got, like, some really interesting ancestry from, like, way back in the day. My genealogy is very, very boring, unfortunately. I would love to have some
and that's when Batman doesn't kill anybody, but Ben Affleck definitely killed him.
some interesting ancestry going on. Like you're, you know,
yeah, you had the
a quarter Guatemalan or,
whoa,
you know, something cool.
What gadget is that? You have Batman cattle blender.
Basically anything that's not Scottish would surprise me. Pleasantly. We would find out from DNA testing that we were all related before marriage. Well, if you go back far enough, I mean, considering how many people started off in the world and how many people there are now, you maybe don't want to look too much into that for, you know, your own mental health. Well, that's the thing, Amanchu. Are you married? I don't even know if you're married or not.
So I think I was telling you about with the fucking game. You get an Arkham Asylum on it.
Silly is currently in Lust with his boyfriend, I think.
The capture was
everybody knows I'm I've got that yin.
Batman didn't have to combo with the guy.
Right. More saplings, please. Oh, here's one.
Yeah.
Okay, Hearing a... Oh, there. Alright. I was like, why can I hear a drowned? Kat, I have done some googling and have found the shape of your family tree.
That one had nature.
Is it a circle? It's a circle. Oh, we need to watch and I pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Everybody's like Batman.
So funny.
Bale's Batman didn't kill anybody, but he killed the driver of the truck in the third one.
The little Asian guy that marries them. It's like, marriage is like a circle.
The Batplane. You get when he's trying to stop
It's not even the accent, it's the lisp that sort of gets me.
But everybody's like, you didn't kill anybody. How did the guy die?
It's a circle. I am a strong, independent man that don't need no. I love it. Wait to turn it around. Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
That's just pretend explosions. You have to love the Tumblr to kind of Batmobile trilogy. Fucking such a cool car.
Ooh, there's a pointy bit over there. And there's a cratery bit over there. Right, pointy bit or cratery bit? Right, let's go for the thing that looks more phallic, because it's me and that's the way I roll. We all know it.
Have you heard of the Penguin show though?
If only DNA tests weren't stupid expensive, my late nan was able to find out a lot of my family tree through public records. So,
Is that right?
I know my my bio dad's mum, my granny, my only living grandparent, that I unfortunately haven't talked to in a while because blah blah blah, family drama. Like I do really want to speak to her, but
what was that,
as I said, a lot of that I got a really hateful email from my cousin last time. I tried to get help from that part of the family. Well, I'd phoned. I don't know if I want to talk about this.
See when he's playing with the guy's fingers and he just bites.
Let me think about that. But anyway, she has a very extensive family tree of lots of generations of our family, which would be interesting. And my cousin that lives in, well, she lives in Australia now, but she moved to, so she's from Scotland, but her mum and my uncle got divorced way back when. Her mum married a New Zealand guy and they moved over there when she was young. So she was raised in New Zealand, but she currently lives in Australia with her partner. And she's just actually finished uni, which is fantastic. She's absolutely amazing. And she's really into like the family tree stuff as well. So it would be interesting to find out. But like so far from what I've seen from my family tree, very, very boring.
Alicia Silverstone's costume.
Very, very,
like,
very boring. Although I've only went back a few generations. Maybe there'll be something interesting there. Like I know parts of my granddad's family moved to Canada back before I was born. So there's some Scottish Canadians that I am related to in Canada. We have a very uncommon, well, my maiden name is very uncommon, and you know, if I were to tell people what it was, I could probably track them down pretty quick, but I'm not gonna. Although it's such a pain in the ass of a last name. Kind of glad I got married and, you know, got to yeet that last name into the void. If I hadn't got married, I probably would have changed my name by deed poll to my dad's last name. Which, if someone is just coming into the chat, would be very confused by that statement, because like, Wouldn't you be named after your dad anyway? Well, no. Oh wait, not when he wasn't around when you were
So
born
that
and didn't know
says
you
it,
existed back then. Well, that makes it sound worse.
lock up your rooms.
Ah. Thank you. Muchas gracias. All my grandparents were dead before I was even out of high school. Aww, that's depressing. Like, I suppose it all depends on when, obviously, when, you know, they had kids, and because you see a lot of, like, while you're also seeing a lot of people that are choosing not to have kids these days, you also see a lot of older people continuing to have, well, that, but, you know, like, people in their, you know, 40s and stuff deciding to have kids. And, you know, there's a dad down the road that we've known for years, and his missus is slightly older than me, but he's like 10 years older than all of us, so, you know, he's an older dad, he's in his 50s, but, you know, our kids are the same age, and obviously the older your parents are, the less likelihood you have of, unfortunately, meeting your grandparents. You know, unless your grandparents absolutely suck. Because my oldest doesn't remember my bio dad, because he was around and in her life when she was little, and he met my son for about a month of my son's life,
Not even special,
before I cut all contact. So she doesn't remember him. My son is sort of basically never met him, and my youngest has never met him, unless it's been like sort of in passing in a supermarket, and even then we don't stop and talk to each other. It's we do live I mean, Scotland is a small place. We do live pretty close to each other, unfortunately. Think about like a 10-minute drive. That's how close we are, and thankfully we have not crossed paths that many times. There has been a couple of occasions where I have been in shopping in a supermarket, and he has I have witnessed him move to actively avoid me, which I can understand him not wanting to. Well, actually, I don't understand him not wanting to talk to me. I didn't do hee-haw wrong. I mean, if he's mad about the contact being cut off, you know, I get that. But what I don't understand is, you know, not, like, even just a little bit, not wanting to... Ooh, a treasure map. You know, see your grandkids.
64 graphics there for a minute.
But I don't know. Maybe it's too painful. Maybe I've no idea. Oh, I don't have any. I don't have any brushes or any copper. Hi. Kicked your ass. Oh, I broke beat it. Oh, I needed one of those. They weren't even old, just really unhealthy. My family history. Alright, okay. Yeah, it's funny that, huh? Like, health and family histories are scary things. We have... Oh, I'm getting yeety dooty here. The women in my family have a history of iron deficiency and cervical cancer, and my mum's mum had a brain tumour. And then some strokes. She had all of the bad stuff. She did not luck out whatsoever in any aspect of that. Yeah, so she had a brain tumour, and she got over that, and then she had, I don't know if the whole cervical cancer thing came first, but yeah, cervical cancer, brain tumour, which she both survived, and then she went on one of her only holidays abroad to Rome because she was Catholic and wanted to, you know, visit the Vatican, and she had a stroke. I mean, take that, Catholicism. I've decided to start my white woman skincare phase. I want to look 21 at 30, and dude, you've probably got that down already. I could give you my skincare tips. I don't have any skincare tips. You're lucky if I use moisturizer. Yeah, people are horrified by how I wash my face, because I literally bar of soap, face cloth, I'm done. And like, but you don't exfoliate, and you don't, you know, use this product and this product and this product, and I'm like, if I used all of that crap on my face, I'd look like you. I don't want to look like you. I want to look like me. I didn't think you washed, so this is more than I expected. Oh, nice clap back. I like it. Oh, no. So my daughter was at school today, and I can't say what her friends called each other, because one of them is a word I really, really hate, and the other one is very, very racist. So my daughter was trying to explain this situation where they're, you know, it's armistice, they're having a 1 minute silence at school. One of the kids is being very disrespectful and being loud. Kid A goes, you know, gonna no do that. Kid B claps back with, you're a enter disabled slur here. And then Kid B retorts with enter racist slur here. And apparently nothing was done about it. Like, just to clarify, these are both children with additional support needs. But like, she was very very confused when she came home today as to, obviously, like, A, why was nothing done about this, and like, B, like, who calls people that? Kids. Although saying that, you do get some adults acting like that, so I am not surprised. Like, I am aware I make way too many innuendos that anybody should ever make, and that my humour is juvenile and immature and moderately concerning, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. At least I don't go around, you know, shouting racist and hateful slurs at people. Damn, kids. You're meant to be at school to get an education. Please educate them on not to do that. Oh, there's a snowy peak over there. I like a snowy peak. Guys, should we go visit the snowy peak? Let's go visit the snowy peak. There's probably like a lot of iron up there. And we're not actually that far away from spawn. That's killing my soul. I live in a majority Christian. Dude, you didn't need to use that word twice, but yeah, continue. Elderly place, and I have been called a lot of homophobic things. Okay, yeah, you're allowed to clap back on that. Screw those guys. I find it kind of ironic where, like, you know the stupid one where they go, oh, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Like, just put, like, you know, this is where the being raised Catholic comes in handy. Because you gotta go, well, actually, Susan, Adam was married before. So technically, Adam is a divorcee. Actually, worse than that, he's a bigamist because technically divorce wasn't around back then. So you're all descended from sinners. Get it up, you, and stop being a judgmental hoo-ha. Or when they're like, oh, God's against blah 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 blah. It's like, well, technically it says hee-haw about that in the Bible. Have you read it? Quite a good wee fictional novel they've got going on there. One of the best sellers as well. Kudos to the author. Although I believe it was a collaborative effort amongst various white. They well whitewashed that whole thing. That's like got to be the epitome of how to whitewash religion. Is this no sauce? I want to get up there where there's iron over there. That's probably better if I go up that way, right? Nope, that snow is sus. See the tiny flakies? That is very suspect snow. So, not sus. It's so much easier to tell them apart when I used a plastic texture pack. Pardon me. Yeah, like, by all means, be religious if that's how you want to be, but, you know, stop trying to tell other people how to live. Although, like, my oldest was really into learning about religion when she was older. So anytime sort of, you know, those sorts of people came to the door, like, have you heard about our Lord and Saviour, this ham toasty? I'd just be like, here's a kid, talk to it. It wants to listen to you. I don't. And then obviously because she's 5 and all she cares about is Peppa Pig and Doritos, you know, they tend to leave fairly quick. I do slightly enjoy it when they're creative though. My 2 favourite of all times have been Timu, Elton John and Stick Shaker. Jesus. I mean, if you can't come up with a creative insult, what is even the point of you, right? Why did my face get very bright all of a sudden? That's weird. Yeah. Like, it's like me trying to, like, obviously deal with a teenager. Like, a very laid back, like, she's a very well-behaved child. Much to her dismay. I'd love it if she came back and went, Mum, I had to punch someone in the face today. I'm like, tell me more. Only because, you know, like, it'd actually make me worry about her less, because then I'd know, like, you know, she's sticking up for herself. That is a good thing. I mean, you know, don't do violence and what have you, but you're allowed to defend yourself. And obviously I know that she would never resort to that sort of situation unless there was a genuine reason to do so. But yeah, some of the stuff the kids come out with, it's like, please, guys, for the love of all of, you know, the trash pandas in the world, if you're gonna insult someone, make it creative and make it funny. If you, because, you know, turn around and go, oh, you're gay. It's like, it's been done, mate. It's, you missed the boat on that one. Your generation's behind. Please see the updated manual on how to insult people. Like, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a piss poor effort being put into, you know, insulting someone. That probably makes me a bad person. But, you know, if it's not gonna be, you know, creative and somewhat comical, what even is the point? I kind of regret coming up here now. I've only got 12 bits of iron.
Got two of them.
Right, we're gonna head this way. Oh, hi. You know what? I prefer screamers. No. Whoop. Just yeet himself over there. Cool. You do you, buddy. The reason I'm still friends with Kat is because I insult her creatively. How's the wig going, by the way? It's not a wig! It was pulled from the very finest of equestrian ass. I'm not talking about the horses, I'm talking about the riders.
Spawn swapped again.
Right. Silly doesn't believe I'm ginger either. Yeah, from like here down to here, this is my natural hair colour. This end bit maybe dyed a little. I can't remember actually. No, I got my hair cut a while ago, so I think that bit grew out. But yeah, I dye my hair and then I regret it because I can't maintain a hair regime. Like, this is as fancy as I get. Having it down is as fancy as I get. Like, welcome to my life. I am not doing anything with my hair unless I have to go somewhere where, you know, actually looking like a people is required. And even then, you're lucky. I only just figured out at the age of 35 how to not make my hair frizzy. And it requires chemicals of some such. I hate being a girl sometimes. Can I switch? Don't think my husband would be too thrilled. The finest of equestrian ass hair, silly. I thought it was night time. Yeah, here you have the finest ass hair in Aussie land. Okay, maybe not that then. I did used to have a blue wig once. It was like a blue, electric blue bobbed wig. I've got a picture of me in it somewhere on Halloween. But that was mainly because at that point I had no hair. So, like, I didn't cover up the fact that there's moss down there. There's moss down there. Cha-ching. Do I have... That'll do. There's moss down there. Yeah, I didn't cover up the fact that I didn't have any hair. It was just that, you know, particular day it was Halloween and I was a Smurf, so I was blue. If I was green, I would die. Dabba-dee, dabba-die, dabba-dee, dabba-die. Ooh. Nice. Ah, la bouche. Animal's bush. Right, where's my hole? Here, hole. Did I break my hole? I think I broke my hole. Right, you know what? I'm just going to swap that out for a new one. Gonna yeet that. I don't need that. Grab that. Okay. That's fine. Get a couple of more of these out. Got a feeling I'm gonna need them. Right. Why do I keep thinking it's getting dark and it's not getting dark? Right, moss, yes please. Oh, and look at all this clay as well. Cha-ching! The carpet can stay because, you know, I can just make more of that at a later date. Don't need to keep that white earring around. Okay, and clay. Oh, look at all this clay. Right, can I... Yeah, I can turn this into clay blocks and then I can thingy it again when I get back. So that's fine. Oh, I'm in a hole. I'm in a hole. Just give me all of the clay. Thank you. Fabulous. Right. Oh. Okay. Go for a nap. Right. I think I'm gonna need to tap out, folks, because my kid is... Yeah, the little one is not happy. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, yada yada yada. Probably be streaming again tomorrow, so join in there for another crazy rant about my unethical psychotic life, and we will catch you next time. Goodbye. I definitely need to sleep first, so get out of F5 naps, and I'll catch you guys later.